Hey, you know,
I've been feeling I see a lot of people run do stuff that I've never seen folks run before. Being in an effort that
Johnny, I'm going to get you up early. Okay. Not on the agenda, but I'm going to get you up before we start.
Let's cycle. Exactly. Or if you're going to make it Oh, yeah. Okay, so you were able to track him, because I've tried to remember the names of who I know, I couldn't.
And probably most of those are with their mortgage company, like if they have mortgages, their mortgage company pays for mortgage.
And that is correct, though, that I already gave him the proper credit.
Hey, Harvey's worried about his meal. I'm like, I don't even have time to think about the meal. How much money can we go charge him? And you're going to yeah, you're going to get that. The publication fee? There is a fee. I don't know what it is, but I can find it.
All right. Guys, tonight we have several veterans in the audience. I'm going to ask Johnny if you will lead us in the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance, and then come forward, sir, as soon as you do both things. And you have the presentation, I believe, to get us started.
Okay, bow our heads, please. Most graciously, Heavenly Father, we are thankful for this opportunity here that we can gather. We're thankful for this legislative body here tonight. We're thankful for the people that come out tonight and show us how democracy really works. Father, we ask now that you be with us throughout this meeting, and when it's over with, take us safely home. These things we ask in the name of Jesus the Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Johnny, would you come forward, please?
Excuse me.
I want that. Hey, turn it on.
It's on.
Check, 1, 2. Oh, all right, it's on. I want to introduce the members of the VFW that are up here with me. I have here Jim Patterson. He is our surgeon officer. We have Vicki Patterson. She's our quartermaster. She handles all the money. We have Johnny McBee. He is a former commander of the VFW. He is also the senior vice commander of our district. And we have Tommy Hickey. Y'all know him. He is chairman of our building committee, the VFW. Tonight, I came before you several months ago and talked with you all, and I was just got quite a response, and then later on we came back and you give us tremendous support in our building and paying off our building. And I want to let you know that on behalf of the VFW and the American Legion, Post 190, they are also housed in that building and are sharing and will be sharing expenses with us. On behalf of those posts, I unequivocally and unreservedly am very much appreciative, and we are very much appreciative of the support you've given us. And we'd like to give a small token of our appreciation here tonight. Keith, you want to come up? You got anybody else you want to come up with?
Oh, it's the whole commission. I can't pick one person out because
I didn't think so. Let me get this out of the way here. On behalf of the VFW, we have this plaque. It has everybody's name on it, and I hope that maybe you'll display it somewhere in,
certainly will.
in the building. It has the county executive and all the county commissioners on there. And again, Keith, I appreciate it.
You are welcome. It's long overdue, as Tom Venero said. This has been long overdue. We appreciate the sacrifice you guys make and make still daily today, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. That's good. Now you got the picture there. Get up here. Y'all line up here.
I'll smile on this side.
Tommy, you need to be invited.
Wait a minute.
Very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I was going to hand to those other guys, let them pass it around over there.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, that's pretty good. You didn't break the camera. That was me. Guys, I want to say welcome to this quarterly commission meeting. We've had meetings all day. We appreciate Bledsoe Telephone being here. We've got quite the crowd, got a lot of business to take care of. A lot of exciting announcements tonight. I want to welcome everybody here. But let's get started. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Tim Hill.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Here.
Bob Sherman.
Here.
Brian Ruling. Freeman.
Here. Brian is here via telephone from Pigeon Forge.
Commission meeting. We've had meetings all day. We appreciate quite the crowd. Got a lot of business to take care of.
Thank you for your attendance.
Go ahead.
Jim O'Brien.
Here.
Bill Hatfield.
Here.
I lost my place. Roy Land.
Here.
Joyce Dotson.
Here.
Jeff Barger.
Here.
Paul Powell.
Here.
David Cartwright.
Here.
June Eastman. Here. Frank Silver.
Here.
Clint Huth.
Here.
Tommy Johnson.
Here.
David Hudson.
Here.
Tom Nero.
Here.
Jeff Patrick.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let me say this. We've got a couple of commissioners that are in Gatlinburg tonight. It's the first year in the last 9 years that Winfred Smith hasn't been there with us, and we're looking for some exciting things this week in that location. So you guys be safe up there, and we appreciate you tuning in to the meetings. So in your packets, Commissioners, you should have received the minutes from December the 20th of 21. You should have reviewed those. I'll entertain a motion to approve said minutes. I have a motion from Mr. Frank Silver.
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Venero. Do I hear any comments, corrections, deletions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed likewise, said minutes hereby pass. Okay, up first is the reports. On my desk, I have the trustee report, the county executive cash flow reports. I've got the balance sheet and the quarterly reports from last quarter. Madam Clerk, I want to make that part of the minutes. Also, I have the Sarai Pierce bond. Is that correct? I gave that to you earlier. You should have that. We'll make that part of the minutes as well. So, okay, up next, we're going to, Pete, I'm going to save you till last in the big three here, but I'm going to have Eric Higgins up first with the Highway Department.
Evening. I'm just going to get to the discussion points I had on here. The department's in a good state right now, healthy wise.
Pick the microphone up.
Is that better? Okay. Under the discussion, we had a road committee meeting before this, and we talked about a couple of roads. We didn't get to all of them. But one of the roads that was brought up was Red Rock Canyon Road, and we had a motion out of that committee to add that road to the list. And then we talked about a road, Old Anderson Road, and we had some discussions where we need to come and talk to you, Jennifer, to see who, if anybody's paying taxes on that road or what we couldn't find anything. A problem that we've been having this year, we've had salt ordered for about 6 months. We've still not got any. If it wasn't for my friends in Nashville and stuff, we wouldn't have any salt now, but we do. We have access to it until TDOT runs low. So I'll just go ahead and let you have that. So if people complain the roads are not getting salted, we got to get primary roads, and that's what we got to focus on until we can get our salt. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot other than we've had a lot of people with COVID last couple of weeks. We've had about 7 people out. At a given time, they're all back to work now. But other than that, I'm open for questions.
Okay, on the Anderson Road, now does that road they own property on both sides of that road, or how does that work?
The way the deed states is the people that own the property on the side of that road, this is from James Conner's office, is it shows the property going up to the right of way of the road. But one of the discussions that we had in there today was that Patton's, I guess Brian Patton actually claims the road, but that's may not necessarily be the case, but that's something we're going to have to look at and research, find out.
Now, while we're here, guys, let's go ahead and take care of this little business we've got. We have a recommendation from the road committee to accept, as part of the road county road list, Red Rock Canyon Road. So that comes as a motion from the road committee. Do I hear a second? I have a second from Jim Breland. Now that I've got a motion and a second, any further comments? Mr. Hudson? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed likewise. Hearing none, Red Rock Canyon Road is hereby on the official road list for 2022.
Okay.
Is that the only road that we have?
That's the only one. We've got some other issues with roads that we want to remove, but I've got some people that want to take them off. And I got a verbal from a guy the other day that didn't want it to come off, that actually joins one side of this road. And again, I'll get with you and have a discussion.
Very good. Any other questions for Superintendent?
Yes, on that Red Rock Road, what's it required to get it back up to date? Is it
Which road?
on Red Rock Road?
Oh, it's in great shape. It's in better shape than a lot of the roads we've got now. And it's just a gravel road, but it was maintained by the county several years ago. A lot of work got done on it then. But it's in real good shape. There's no potholes or anything. It's a very solid road.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Higgins.
Thank you.
Sheriff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen of the commission, you have my October, November, and December reports there in front of you. I'll entertain any questions that you have of those at this time.
Sheriff, I do have a question. How many violators do we have out at the Amish community last month?
Zero.
Zero. How about the senior citizen plan?
Sometimes they do get a little bit rowdy, but zero on that as well.
Okay. That's all I have.
Thank you. If I may say, I always follow Coach Swafford. I never get to come up here in front of him. But I was telling Mr. Cordell just a moment ago as we were on the break in between the budget committee, we have the current director of schools, being Mr. Cordell here. We have the soon-to-be director of schools back there beside him, and we also have two former directors of schools here all together in the same room tonight. So I think that's pretty unique.
That may be a first.
I would like to say publicly, good luck to you, Ms. Sarai, on your new endeavor, and Coach, my friend, good luck to you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Coach Swafford. Coach, we really appreciate you. I'll go ahead and say this up front. We said that at the last meeting. You've done a splendid job in taking care of the monies and the school system and spearheaded their efforts in reconstruction. Just splendid. I couldn't be prouder. So, and I appreciate the association you've given this commission and me personally in these tasks. So,
thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I really would like to say how much I appreciate the support that you've given me, and I would hope that you would continue with Sarai, our new director. We mailed out your second quarter financial summary. I hope you got that in the mail. Financially, we're in a good place in our budget. If you had any questions about that, I'd be glad to answer them. Also, I would tell you that our construction projects, we had 3 construction projects going on at one time. We've closed out the welding room at the high school, it's complete. We've closed out the renovation at Griffith, it's complete. And the athletic renovation was waiting on nets for softball and baseball and a little bit of fencing, and they started installing that today, and so it should be finished this week. So we're at the end of 3 pretty significant projects. It's been a lot of hard work by our office, our financial staff. Sherry's here representing them. So if you'd like to come and look around, I would, and you want me to go with you, you need to come this week. But I'm sure Sarai would be glad to show you around. She's a local girl. She's going to do a great job. She already has done a great job. And I hope you will support her just like you've always supported the schools. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to entertain them. Sarai, you want to stand up? Ms. Pierce, say something.
Just thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to working with you. I recognize very clearly the legacy that I have to follow. And so I hope to make us proud and work hard for our students and teachers and community.
Coach, thank you again for a job well done. We appreciate it. All right, moving forward, Mr. Sheldon, I see you back there. Anything for ag tonight?
No.
Miss Sherry or Tom Venero, I see you with audit. Do you have anything?
Just a slight summary of today's meeting. We had our audit committee at 9 o'clock. Really, we're still waiting on the final report from audit. I think our exit interview should be in the next week or so. But so far, all indications, we're going to have a very good audit report again, as anticipated. Obviously, we don't know until it comes down, but there certainly hasn't been any presentations to the audit committee or anything that we see that other than positive going forward. Other than that, we'll have our next meeting always on the same day as the next quarterly commission meeting.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Venero? Thank you very much. Moving forward, Winston, I see you out here. Anything for Valley Fest, sir?
I would like to say that we are working on adding a Veterans Day at the beginning of Valley Fest. We have a meeting this week, the second time, with the songwriting group, and they're promising large turnouts. So we're anticipating that, and we'll know more maybe by next meeting.
Thank you, Doc. Anybody here from 911? Brian is out. Clint, you want to?
I'm not on 911 no more, sir.
Well, you are gone. Who's here from 911?
Never was, but.
Okay. Yes, Brian.
Everything's going as smooth as possible. We just hired a new employee, and for everyone to know, our county is still growing. Multiple addresses coming in weekly here. So that's it.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate it. Is Janice here from the chamber?
No, she got sick this afternoon and said she wouldn't be able to make it.
Thank you, Chester. Okay, moving forward, Pam gave you a report with the IDB earlier. We appreciate that, Pam. Some very informative. We appreciate what you're doing at that high salary we've got you on. So no, we appreciate what you do, and the rest of the board as well. So we appreciate that. Okay, moving on. Let's check these off. Okay, our EMS is Puckett here. Mr. Jason Payne, is he here tonight? Jason is not here. Okay. Mr. Barger with budget, sir.
All right. Thank you, Chairman, Commission, members of the audience. The Budget Committee did meet this afternoon to go over some transfer items, and I will now go through those transfer items. You want to do this first one here to waive the 5-day rule for the full commission to discuss this one.
I'll entertain a motion to waive the 5-day rule on the first transfer. Have a motion from Ronnie Land, a second from Paul Powell. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed likewise. Said 5-day rule is hereby waived. Mr. Barker.
All right. This came as a motion from the Budget Committee to approve this transfer. It was a transfer from Budget Code 101, 39,000 fund balance, a sum total of $25,657. Transferring that to 54-110-718 sheriff's motor vehicles. That same total amount of $25,657. And there was in the transfer that was handed out in the Budget Committee also had the check for the insurance payment attached to that, so that everyone could see that as well.
You've heard the motion from the Budget Committee. I'll entertain a second. I have a second from Mr. Shell. Because this exceeds $5,000, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mr. Sharon?
Yes.
Gary Williams?
Yes.
Bobby Sherman?
Yes.
Brian Ruling?
Yes.
Jimbo Freeman?
Yes.
Bill Hatfield?
Yes.
Ronnie Land?
Yes.
George Dodson?
Yes.
Jeff Barger?
Yes.
Paul Powell?
Yes.
David Cartwright?
Yes.
June Dishman? Yes. Frank Silver?
Yes.
Clint Who?
Yes.
Tommy Johnson?
Yes.
David Hudson?
Yes.
Tom Nero?
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey?
Yes.
Okay, the transfer hereby passes. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. And the next item that the Budget Committee considered, and this came as a recommendation, motion from the Budget Committee to transfer from Budget Code 171, 39,000 fund balance, a sum total of $300,000, transferring that to 171, 99,100, 590, transfers out that same amount, the total of $300,000.
Well, you've heard the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I've got a second from Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? This was for the Highway Department. We made this, put it in the minutes at the last meeting. This is just taking care of the accounting piece and the transfer itself.
Yeah, that's what I would add. We've approved this motion through the last meeting and talking about transferring some of these funds to the highway department for the rescue dollars.
Because it exceeds the $5,000, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell,
Yes.
Gary Williams,
Yes.
Bobby Rulin, Bobby Sherman,
Yes.
Brian Rulin,
Yes.
Jim Rulin,
Yes.
Bill Hatfield,
Yes.
Ronnie Land,
Yes.
Joyce Dodson,
Yes.
Jeff Barker,
Yes.
Paul Powell,
Yes.
David Cartwright,
Yes.
Jim Dishman,
Yes.
Frank Silver,
Yes.
Clint Hood,
Yes.
Tommy Johnson,
Yes.
David Hudson,
Yes.
Tom Nero,
Yes.
Jeff Hankins.
Yes.
Okay, the transfer hereby passes, Mr. Chairman.
All right, yes, the next item that the Budget Committee had discussed, and this came as a motion from the Budget Committee as well, the Budget Code 101, transferring from 39,000 fund balance, a sum total of $50,000, transferring that to 99,100, 590 transfers out.
You've heard the motion from the Budget Committee. Do I hear a second? I have a second from David Cartwright. Any discussion and or questions?
That is for sanitation.
It is correct, Mr. Shell. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, because it exceeds $5,000, Madam Clerk, a roll call.
Chester Shell,
Yes.
Gary Williams,
Yes.
Bobby Sherman,
Yes.
Brian Rulin,
Yes.
Jim Rulin,
Yes.
Bill Hatfield,
Yes.
Ronnie Land,
Yes.
Joyce Dodson,
Yes.
Jeff Barker,
Yes.
Paul Powell,
Yes.
David Cartwright,
Yes.
Jim Dishman,
Yes.
Frank Silver,
Yes.
Clint Hood,
Yes.
Tommy Johnson,
Yes.
David Hudson,
Yes.
Tom Nero,
Yes.
and Jeff Hankins.
Yes.
Okay, the 50,000 transfer hereby passes. Mr. Chairman.
Yes. There was another item that the Budget Committee had take up for consideration, and this also came as a motion out of the Budget Committee to transfer this item. It is a transfer from Budget Code 101, 39,000 fund balance, a sum total of $15,000, transferring that to 52,500, 348 postage line item for the Madam Clerk's postage line.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second from Mr. Mackey. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, because it exceeds 5, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell,
Yes.
Gary Williams,
Yes.
Bobby Sherman,
Yes.
Brian Rulin,
Yes.
Jim Rulin,
Yes.
Bill Hatfield,
Yes.
Ronnie Land,
Yes.
Joyce Dodson,
Yes.
Jeff Barker,
Yes.
Paul Powell,
Yes.
David Cartwright,
Yes.
Jimmy Dishman,
Yes.
Frank Silver,
Yes.
Clint Hood,
Yes.
Tommy Johnson,
Yes.
David Hudson.
Transfer hereby passes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
You guys are killing me. Let's go. Mr. Chairman.
All right, there was a couple of other items that the Budget Committee was presented for consideration. The first item, and this came out of the Buildings and Grounds Committee, which came to the Budget Committee, and the Budget Committee came as a motion from the Budget Committee to approve this acquisition, or to give Keith the authority to negotiate up to $45,000 for the Coops Creek North Highway 127 property. And that was a motion from the Buildings and Grounds, and also came as a motion out of the Budget Committee.
You've heard the motions from both committees. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second from Ronnie Land. Any comments, questions? Because it exceeds $5,000, Madam Clerk, roll call on this possible acquisition.
Chester Shell,
Yes.
Gary Williams,
Yes.
Bobby Sherman,
Yes.
Brian Rulin,
Yes.
Jim Rulin,
Yes.
Bill Hatfield,
Yes.
Ronnie Land,
Yes.
Joyce Dodson,
Yes.
Jeff Barker,
Yes.
Paul Powell,
Yes.
David Cartwright,
Yes.
Jim Dishman,
Yes.
Frank Silver,
Yes.
Clint Hood,
Yes.
Tommy Johnson,
Yes.
David Hudson,
Yes.
Tom Nero,
Yes.
and Jeff Hankins.
Yes.
Okay, the acquisition hereby passes, giving authority to the county executive. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, okay. There was one other motion that came out of the Budget Committee, and that was a motion to approve the fire equipment award of $361,670 with the additional funds of $46,670 because of the accounting differences in it. And it was a motion to approve and to approve the additional funds.
You've heard the motion from the Budget Committee. Do I hear a second? I have a second from Mr. Gary Williams. Any questions? Further questions? Hearing none, because it exceeds $5,000, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Yes.
Bobby Sherman.
Yes.
Ron Rubin.
Yes.
Jim O'Brien.
Yes.
Bill Hatfield.
Yes.
Ronnie Land.
Yes.
Charles Dodson.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
David Cartwright.
Yes.
Jude Ishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Clint Hood.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
David Hudson.
Yes.
Tom Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
motion hereby passes, Mr. Chairman.
And that, sir, is all of the motions that came out of the Budget Committee. The Budget Committee did discuss, or Pam Mooningham came and gave us an update on the Industrial Park Road properties, and we had a good discussion from Lahindra and Carbon Black Global, and they gave us a kind of an update on where they stand as well. So there was no action taken on either one of those, but it was a good discussion and some good learning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We appreciate that that report and those transfers and doing it efficiently and effectively. Okay, moving forward, is there any other committee reports that I've left out? I do not see any. Moving forward into new business. Up first, we have a library announcement, I think. Miss Rachel, would you come forward with your contingency, or let them stay, whatever you want to do. So.
Thank you for having us tonight. I am here representing the Library Board, and with me I have Jane Endick and Nina Hunt and Susan Greer and the man that keeps us in line, Mr. Paul Powell. And we have had some really big shoes that we have had to fill. As you know, Donna Land, who was the assistant librarian, who worked there for over 34 years, has retired. And also Miss Betty Worley, who has been there 60 years. So talking about shoes to fill, it's been rough. We've had many interviews and talked to many people and worked hard on what to do and how to fill it. Because when you think of the library, you think of Betty Worley. So tonight, I'd like to introduce to you, for the assistant librarian, we have Miss Laura Woody. Laura, would you stand up? Laura is from Sell Creek. She has been working at the Bradley County Cleveland Library. So she brings lots of experience with her. Thank you, Laura. We're excited to have you. Now to fill Miss Betty's shoes. We've looked high and low and interviewed, and so we're delighted to introduce Miss Robin Bergen as our new Sequatchie County Library. Robin has been here about 27 years. When she first came to Dunlap, there was a opening at Griffith Elementary for a grant that was written, and so I got to know Robin way back then, and I've watched her children grow, and I've watched Robin, and after she worked there, she's done several things, and then she bought a daycare, the one behind Subway, Doodlebugs, so she owned that for a while, had an opportunity to sell it, and then she was looking for a job. She has represented us well with the Friends of the Library, so she's worked a lot with our library, so she was just wonderful. We're very excited to have you. Robin, stand up again. Let us see you. And we appreciate all the help that you give the library. Our library is growing. We have lots of patrons. You talk about all the people that are moving to Dunlap. Well, they're hunting the library. So we're right there on the front street, and here they come. So thank you for your help, and any more help you can give us, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Paul, do you want to say anything to defend yourself?
Yeah, I've got something to say.
This
watch here, they don't leave no rocks unturned. When they went hunting for a new librarian, they got a person to interview from England. So we're not just Dunlap, Tennessee, we went worldwide. And I think they made an excellent choice with the choice they made, and try to support her every way I can. But I will give you a hard time.
When I was first elected back years ago, one of the first things that came up is I met with the library, and Tommy Johnson gave me some advice just to try to say no in a nice way. I don't think I've ever been able to do anything but anyway, I enjoy working with you folks, and do a splendid job, and we appreciate your efforts and your commitment to Sequatchie County and the learning, the real culture behind what we do here. So we appreciate it.
And that's some awful big shoes to fill, going to fill Miss Betty's shoes. And I know she's a little woman, but she's got some awful big shoes.
Robin and Laura, congratulations and welcome to the team. We appreciate you being here. Okay, moving forward, 911 board appointment. Part of the duties of being county executive is to appoint the 911 board. On most appointments, on all appointments, I get those adopted by the commission. That's not required, but I like doing it. It just shows support and unity. Now, new Mayor Huth, City Mayor Huth, has at 6'7", has retired or resigned, I should say, from the 911 board after a number of years. My replacement is Stacy Williams. Stacy is with us. He's not hardly 6'7", but he's close. So there's some tall shoes to fill, and I ask Stacy that you would stand up and be recognized. Now, I will entertain a motion to adopt Mr. Williams.
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Barton. I have a second from Mr. Huth. All in favor, a resounding yay.
Yay.
All in. Motion hereby passes the adoption. Stacy, welcome. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, Stacy credentially has a lot of background in Clint. I'm going to let you speak on that just for just a minute. So, Stacy's qualifications.
I think Stacy Williams is going to be an outstanding member of the 911 board. His leadership, his knowledge, and the emergency services and the emergency communications is going to be a great asset to us.
Is his salary?
Salary same as mine was.
Okay. That's what I thought. Same as yours was. 0.
Moving forward, Resolution 761, the Victims Assistance Assessment Fee. Miss Gina, you here with your folks? I see a lot of familiar faces here, and I thought Gene Hargis from the commission in Marion County was going to be here with you.
Gene had his own commission meeting in Marion. He misunderstood me there, Keith. He thought it was next week. So
very good.
He's at the Marion County Commission meeting right now. My name is Gina Presto. I'm the board president of the 12th Judicial District Children's Advocacy Center. I'm here with Kelly Craig. She is our director, executive director. I want to just say thank you because I haven't been before you yet, and just personally thank you for your contributions to this CAC. You have graciously donated to us for the past 2 years, and without that support we wouldn't be where we are right now. And I also want to say thank you for some of you. Jeff, you were at the grand opening. Clint, you were there. Keith was there. We do have our new office open here in Sequatchie County. It's in the old middle school building, so I would welcome you to come by and visit it. And again, thank you for that space. We would not have anything that we have here in Sequatchie County if it weren't for your total support. So I just want to personally say thank you for the resolution. I'm going to let Kelly talk to you about that. That's what we pay her for. She's doing a good job.
I thought mine was 0 to 9.
No. So Kelly's going to talk to you about that, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have of us tonight. So, Kelly.
Hi, thank you. Again, like what Gina said, thank you so much for the space, for the support. It's just amazing. We are this close to being fully functional in Sequatchie County. We are just waiting for our recording equipment to be released from Canada and shipped to us. As soon as Canada releases it, apparently it's ours. So hopefully in the next month or so, we'll be able to start doing our forensic interviews. We are here asking to be added to the victim assistance assessment. Currently CASA is on it, which I happen to be a CASA volunteer as well, so there is no competition with Miss Margie. We are great friends. And what we're looking for is being a part of helping children in the county. We do forensic interviews on abused children, counseling, victim advocacy. We attend court with them. I'm in court here, juvenile court, most every court we have. We're just asking to be added to that with CASA and split the funds with CASA for any imposable over $500 fine that people get, so we would get a piece of it. So we would split it with CASA.
And guys, the resolution lays out the details in the split. You guys I know have all read it. And if you've got any questions for Kelly and or Gina, please ask them now. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 761.
We gotta get a second.
Yes. Someone had a question.
Well, the question I was gonna ask is this gonna be a detrimental effect to CASA? I mean, is this loss of?
To my understanding, is this going to be
The way that this resolution was written, the way that this resolution is, when I wrote it, the Victims Assistance Fee Fund allows for nonprofits that work with victims of crime to tag onto it. It does allow for others in the area to do exactly what they are doing. I do not have the ability to say that they cannot do that, nor would I say that they cannot do that. So it will not come in. At this point, we have not collected any funds from Sequatchie County, as you have to have fines charged over $500, and they're aware of this. We've discussed it. But at this moment, it would not be a problem. I would be more than honored to share that resolution and add them to it if it was accepted by the commission.
Well, daily you work hand in hand together anyway, correct?
We are separate, yes.
Yes.
But you work together.
Yes, we do work very well together. We do work together.
Any other questions?
So
Mr. Garrett.
What do you mean by forensic?
So what happens at a child advocacy center is when a disclosure of child abuse comes in to law enforcement or to our DCS, they will call us. We work 6 counties. We work the entire 12th district. Sequatchie is one of the counties. They'll call and request what's called a forensic interview. And this is an interview that's recorded. It's by a trained forensic interviewer. We've gone and been educated. We have additional training. And we interview that child with law enforcement and DCS in another room watching. And we ask them all the questions that law enforcement's looking for in order to hopefully get an indictment or an arrest or a warrant or something on the perpetrator. And it allows for the child to only have to tell their story once and not have to tell law enforcement and then tell DCS and then tell mom and dad. I mean, it just comes under one umbrella. And we then, depending on the age of the child, 12 and under, we would then testify for the child in court. There are some stipulations around that, and then 13 and over, we would help the child get ready to testify themselves in court if they needed to.
Thank you.
Look.
Any other questions? Yes, Clint.
This may be more of a question for our legal counsel. I do serve on the board of directors for the CAC. Is that a conflict? Do I need to abstain? Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion for Resolution 761.
So moved.
I have a motion, who was that? Chester Shell? And a second from, I'm sorry, Mackey's the motion, Shell's the second. Sorry about that, guys, I can't hear. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Said Resolution 761 hereby passes. We appreciate what you do. It's a tough gig.
Yes,
I know
thank you.
that, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, moving forward, in the audience, I've met her earlier. I got to meet her last week from the 1st District, a lovely person, and Allison Dodgen. Miss Allison come to speak with us about the Lewis Chapel substation potential. So, got to meet her and her husband Jeff last week. Enjoyed that, and looking forward to your presentation tonight.
Well, that was a tough act to follow. Thank you for having me this evening and taking the opportunity to share on behalf of the Lewis Chapel community our concerns about the power utility project that is planned for our area. And although we understand the need for the expansion of electricity to the county, our community strongly objects to the planned location of the substation. Many of the residents wanted to join me here tonight, but respect to the limitations due to COVID, did not attend. We have requested a meeting with TVA and SVEC representatives to discuss our concerns and objections to the substation. That meeting was postponed due to illness, and we hope to have it rescheduled soon. These are our objections to the substation. The substation is planned in an existing residential area, which is a concern. We want to know what kind of substation is planned and how much expansion is planned. Our community wants to know the health and environmental impact of living near the substation, as well as the EMF lines. We'd like to know what the planned distance from the substation to the residential homes adjacent to the substations are, and what are the estimated exposure levels of EMF to the lines. These are proven impacts to property values and resale values with a utility station in a neighborhood. Estimates range from 10 to 30% decrease of value, which potentially impacts a decrease to the tax base for the county. The substation will impact our growing tourism that visits our TTT and our Just Fly hang gliding and paragliding sites from all over the world. Henson Gap and Window Rock are now designated as an official route for the Trail of Tears that brings tourists to our area as well. Our community would like to understand what alternative locations can be found for this substation, and we're suggesting perhaps closer to the alternative line 10. Yet in reviewing the proposals from TVA and Sequatchie Valley Electric, it has raised some concerns that need to be addressed by the larger Sequatchie County community. I have a handout for you to see the proposed lines that will have a huge impact to our county. And I apologize in advance, I don't think I made enough copies. I was running out of color.
Allison, Nisha can help you pass those out.
Okay, thank you. As she's handing these out, I want to say that I think that everyone will agree that Highway 111 is considered the gateway into Sequatchie County. Tourists as well as residents that commute to work every day into Chattanooga come through the Henson Gap into the Sequatchie County and enjoy a remarkable view as they drop down into the valley. This is everyone's first impression to our beautiful valley. The proposed power line 8 is indicated on the map, and I'll let everybody, y'all may have to share, and I apologize for that. And I've circled the Lewis Chapel Highway 111 exit. Okay, so give everyone a moment to orient yourself to that map. The line 8 shows that the T31 lines and the H frames will run alongside Highway 111 up the escarpment until it goes up to the top of the escarpment. Line 8 will be highly visible to all who are driving along Highway 111, as well as from the valley. The lines will be visible from the overlook, which was just rededicated and upgraded. So my question for our county is, what is the long-term goal for tourism for our county? Highway 111 is designated as a scenic byway by the state of Tennessee. How does a high voltage power line running alongside our gateway impact the impression of tourists to our home? These power lines will create a high visible impact, and although we all understand the need to improve our infrastructure, we need to carefully consider the long-term consequences of this project. Our suggested solution: use the alternate lines 7 and 10 indicated on your map to move the lines off the escarpment and minimize the view of the H-frames and the lines from 111. We should also look for alternatives to where the lines cross 111 so that it does not impact the drive down 111 as the beauty of Sequatchie Valley comes into view. Thank you for your time, and I really hope that you do consider the consequences of the utility lines to the valley. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dodgen. We appreciate it. You know, we live in a beautiful valley, and this is an ongoing conversation that will continue for the next months and even years that we'll have, have to face with growth. There's certainly growth pains in every community that has the growth that we're sustaining at this point. So I appreciate your voice and getting that through to these representatives. Okay, up next is the new county road acceptance. We handled that earlier in committee meetings. Next, after that, is the county executive to address the commission. I did that in budget, so we're moving right along. Up next, we have the appointment of notaries. Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. We have two. We have Stacy Benoit and Stephanie A.
Motion to approve said notaries.
So moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Hudson.
Second.
Have a second from Mr. Venero. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Hearing none, said notaries hereby passed. Any announcements from the commission? Mr. Huth.
I think you have a proclamation item.
I'm sorry, thank you. Yes. Sorry, guys. Yes, the one proclamation, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week, February 7th through the 14th of 2022. I'll entertain a motion to adopt this resolution. Mr. Jim Bo Breland and Mr. Frank Silver. We appreciate that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Hearing none, said proclamation hereby passes. Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate that. Any other announcements from the commission? Council, I didn't get to you tonight.
I don't have anything.
Good to go. All right. Hearing none, we stand adjourned.